What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I was just entertaining a conversation with somebody on my Instagram, and it led to this video that I want to talk about, and that's Triple G Gennady Golovkin. Yeah, right, Max. I know. Yeah, right. And his power. I want to talk about Triple G and his power. Um, the conversation, let me give you the backstory. The conversation sparked because there's a video on Ellie Seckback's channel, ES News. Shout out to him. Make sure you're subscribed if you're already not. He did an interview with Gabe Rosado of Philly, who's been in the ring with both guys, Triple G and Peter Quillin. And he said that, you know what? Peter Quillin can crack. Like, he said he has very heavy hands. I have to watch the video again. It was a while since I seen it. But I don't remember if he said Quillin had more power than Triple G or if he said it's about the same. Something like that. Something to that effect. So anyway, it led to the conversation of who has more power. And basically the person was alluding to the fact that Peter Quillin, it's impossible or improbable to think that he has more power than Triple G. And some of you guys, I don't know if you guys fully understand boxing and the way things work, and I want to give my take. Some people disagree with this video, that's fine. But this is my perspective on Triple G's power and power in general. One, I don't think it's impossible. I don't know. I've never been punched by either guy. So I don't know who hits harder, to be a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? This is just my perception. But I don't think it is out of the question to think Peter Quillin has more power than Triple G. Now, some people will disagree with that right off the bat. Sometimes you guys hear, you have your antenna set and like waiting for the next word to come out, and then you pause the video and leave a comment. I disagree with that. But listen, I'm openly saying I don't know who hits harder. And based on Triple G having the highest knockout percentage and everything, I would lean towards him hitting harder. However, you got a guy in Gabe Rosado who's been in the ring with both of them, and he's telling you Peter Quillin can crack. Now, I also want to talk about with power, people, you have to realize that there's different types of power. Some people have, like, I'm knocking you the fuck out, one shot, I barely even like committed to the punch or it grazed you and you're getting knocked the fuck out. There's that type of power. Then there's like wear you down, like a succession, the accumulation of punches will fuck you up, and then they're good finishers, they'll get you out of there. And there's different types of some punches like sting and like, oh, they're respectable. Some people, like, some punches are the type that'll like discombobulate you and you're like, whoa, shit, where am I at type shit. It, like, you know what I mean, make you really short circuit, different things like that. So you got to respect and understand there's different types of power. Some people just have like many crazy power, just knock you all over and move you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say Ruslan Provodnikov, per his weight division, he has that type of power. He has the type of power, if he lands good and flush, he's probably going to fuck you up. Evidence, look at Chris Algieri's eye from the first set of punches he landed and in the knockdowns in the first round. Look at the fight with Timothy Bradley. Bradley was out on his feet. He was in Queer Street. He said he had a concussion. That's concussive power. Then there's different guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say Manny Pacquiao at welterweight, not the other divisions, welterweight. Manny Pacquiao has power, but it's not the power. It's like you can't take him lightly power, and it's the speed. It's like explosive power. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it'll break you down mentally and it'll overwhelm you type of power. As far as Triple G, again, I don't think it's out of the question to think Quillin possibly could have more power than him. However, Triple G is a guy with a decorated amateur background. It's also about precision, accuracy, confidence, breaking you down. Peter Quillin started boxing late. Triple G did not. Triple G's been boxing. He's beaten and fought great current fighters in the amateurs. You know what I mean? The Lucian Buttes of the world, the Andre Durrells. He's been in with those type of guys. So he has a decorated amateur experience. So I think a lot of what Triple G, what makes him so destructive, is without a doubt he has power. That can't be disputed. But it's well-placed power. He knows how to put the right torque on his shots. And like when you look at his body punching, it'll really fuck you up. Like, he's a good body puncher. So it's not just having power, it's knowing what to do with that power. Like, let's say there's a rich 16-year-old kid and his parents are rich and they buy him a Mercedes and it's in the driveway. That's fine. He has a Mercedes, he has the keys, but if the motherfucker don't know how to drive, then it's all redundant. It doesn't matter. Triple G, what he does well is he has power. He knows he has power. He knows how to land and connect that power, and he knows how to let his hands go. He's confident. Also, it comes to having experience and a chin. He has those things. It looks like he has a pretty solid chin. He hasn't been in there with world-class competition or anything like that, but it appears he has a chin. So all those things going into consideration, he knows how to respond well. He knows what to do if someone can hit back. That's what makes him successful. Peter Quillin is pretty much learning on the job, and he's having to make adjustments on the fly. So yeah, he could be in a tough fight with Gabe Rosado or a tough fight with whoever, or go the distance with the bump. He's learning on the job. It happens, but that doesn't stipulate that he has less or more power. Like, I don't think boxing works like that. You could have let's say Kendall Holt at 140 could possibly have more power than Lucas Matisse. However, Lucas Matisse, if he's a better fighter with better technique and better chin and better confidence, then that's why he could be a more effective fighter or have a higher KO percentage, because he's just a better dude. He's a better fighter. You know what I mean? I interviewed personally Curtis Stevens. I'll try to put a soundbite or something in this video. He specifically told me, he said, in my opinion, Triple G doesn't have one punch knockout power. He has wear you down power. Some people, you get all like, oh, that's what he thinks. Look at his face when he got knocked down. Yeah, he got knocked down. We know Triple G has power, but he didn't knock him out cold. So it could be just what he said, is he has wear you down power, and it'll break you down. And then the last thing I will say is, like, you got to put all the factors in pieces of the puzzle together when you view boxing. Gabe Rosado, yeah, his face looked worse when he fought Triple G as opposed to when he fought Peter Quillin. However, the Triple G fight, if I'm not mistaken, was Gabe Rosado's first fight at 160. So, yeah, I mean, it's in essence a 154 pounder coming up in weight, and he got the shit beat out of him. He got a nasty cut that opened up, and Triple G is a good finisher, so the rest is history. Peter Quillin, he had already fought Jay Leon Love when he fought Quillin. You know what I'm saying? So he had a little bit more experience. He had the Triple G loss. He had Jay Leon Love fight. So he had more experience and acclimated to 160 a little bit more when Peter Quillin fought him. And Quillin still stopped him as well with the cut. It wasn't a headbutt. It was a punch that opened up a cut. And it's funny to hear boxing fans. You have a person like a Shane Mosley who's been in there with Pacquiao and Mayweather, and he'll say X, Y, and Z, and Canelo. He'll say, oh, Mayweather hits about the same as Canelo, or Manny and Canelo are this and that, and have the same chin, whatever they say. And y'all watch it and be like, fuck that, nah, fuck that, I refuse to believe that. That motherfucker's been in there. He's a professional fighter, and they've been in there with both opponents. So who's to say that what they're saying is a lie? You know what I'm saying? Like, us typing behind a computer or whatever, how can we say what they're saying is not valid? You know what I'm saying? So Gabe Rosado, I'm not saying I believe everything anyone the motherfucker tells me, but Gabe Rosado, if you look at it, what reason would he have to lie to say Peter Quillin has heavy hands? If I'm not mistaken, there was a little bit of tension in the Quillin and Rosado fight, in the build-up to the fight, and it ended in a controversial fashion. Whereas you look at Triple G is a humble dude and super nice, and he didn't really talk shit. He was like, oh yeah, he's a good boy. Like, he was cool. So why would Rosado have any reason on this planet to side with Peter Quillin or give him his props other than being honest? You know what I'm saying? When Triple G's the more humble guy and Peter Quillin wasn't. So you got to take things into consideration. There's no reason for Rosado to give false props to a person like Peter Quillin that he had, quote unquote, like some type of beef and exchange of words with, but take away from another fighter. You know what I'm saying? He lost both of those fights anyway. So I just want to give a little bit of a breakdown from my perspective on power. Without a doubt, Triple G has power. That is without question. But one, we got to see him fight the elites, which hopefully they do that in 2015. And then two, there's different types of power. Three, you got to look at it. It's not just having the power. It's what he does with the power. There's tons of guys with power. Like Randall Bailey could hit harder than Manny Pacquiao at welterweight. But Pacquiao's a better fighter. Pacquiao has the technique. He's a southpaw, that straight left. He's tough. He's confident. He has better footwork. He's going to overwhelm you and, you know what I'm saying, hit you from crazy angles. If Randall Bailey's not doing all of that, then that's why his power is not on display. He's not as good of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about power, namely Triple G, since he had a recent fight and I had that conversation today. I like Triple G. I would actually favor Triple G to beat Peter Quillin. Peter Quillin's my dude. Based on what I've seen, I think Triple G has looked more impressive. Given, like, if Triple G, if you put him in with the cab driver or somebody who's not the best competition, he's disposed of him. You watch Peter Quillin's last fight with Lucas Konecki or whatever dude's name is, and he went the distance, and you know what I'm saying? He was clearly dominating, but he didn't put that finishing touch on it. So I would have to, for the sake of argument, if Peter Quillin were to fight Triple G, I would lean towards Triple G based on the technique, the power, the confidence, the momentum, etc. But I don't think it's out of the question to say Quillin could possibly have more power. It just could be a matter of who has the better technique, who's the better fighter at that point. Let me know what you guys think. Some of you guys, like I said, some of you guys are going to take this one type of way and think I'm dissing Triple G or propping Peter Quillin, whatever. Just listen to what I said. And like I said, I'm fair. I keep it real. That's all that needs to be said. Let me know what you guys think. Who hits harder? What do you guys think about power? Another thing with power, too, for those of you guys just getting into boxing, power is God-given. I've talked to several fighters, John Molina, just different people with power, and they all say the same thing. This is God's gift. I was blessed. I was born with power. There's not much you can do. Like, you can't go from pillow-fisted and lack of punching power, like a Chris Algieri type of fighter, to all of a sudden Mike Tyson type knockouts. It's not possible. You can do power drills and things to, like, you can work on technique to throw punches to maximize what you already have, but you can't, I repeat, you cannot like drastically increase your power from 20% power to 90% power. You know what I mean? It's just not, that's not how it works. That's not how power works. If you disagree, leave a comment below. Let me know why you disagree. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to see Quillin versus Triple G? We'd love to see it, because at the very end, I think, you know what? I would love to see Cotto and Triple G, but I would also like to see Quillin and Triple G just as much almost, because I really feel Cotto is not a true 160-pounder. I think he took an out with Sergio Martinez. He did what he had to do, and that's it. He set history. Peter Quillin, we know he's big. We know he can punch at 160, and neither one of them, Triple G or Quillin, have a decorated amateur or a decorated resume of names. So I want to see them fight each other, because I would rather see Quillin, who I think is more suitable for that weight class, and we know he has power at 160. He knocked Hassan Nadam down like 6 times or something ridiculous. He stopped Fernando Guerrero. We know he has power. So I would rather see Triple G in with somebody his size, if that makes any sense. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.